Do you struggle with color combinations? Today's Tuesday tip video is for you. We're going to create some color coach cards filled with lots of color inspiration. And this is a two-part Tuesday tip. I'm also going to show you how to create a great box to store them in. Hello everyone, and welcome to another Tuesday tip video. I'm Connie Stewart with simplysimplestamping.com. Today is a two-part video. We'll be featuring a fabulous set of color coach cards and a matching box. Before we jump into the project today, I want to let you know that there is a free download that goes along with today's video. So all of the printouts for the color coach, you can find them by clicking here or scanning the QR code. And then all the measurements and everything that you're going to need to create the box. Now you'll find this free download at simplysimplestamping.com, or you can look down in the YouTube description for a direct link. Guys, I'd love for you to have that so you can create this color coach and box for yourself. With that, let's go get started creating our color coach cards. Since today's Tuesday tip is a two-parter, we're going to start by creating the color coach cards. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to print out all of your color coach pieces. There's going to be 9 sheets in here, okay? Because we've got 50 colors we're going to be working with. Now, the other thing you're going to need to go along with this are pieces of cardstock in all of the Stampin' Up! Colors, all right? So these are cut 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. This is a great way to kind of like start digging through those scraps, see if you can find some pieces, and you're going to want, again, 1 of each. So let's bring in the paper trimmer and we're ready to trim these down. Now you're going to see some light gray lines that will give you the spot where you're going to cut. Each of these will be cut down to a 3 by 4. In fact, you know what? I think I'm going to start right down the middle at 4 1/4. Now I'm going to flip this around, and I will tell you, because of how I had to line this up, you might want to do these one at a time rather than trying to stack them. But we're just going to cut off, it looks like about 1 inch here on this side, and it'll probably be about 1 inch on the other side. And then I'll line it up here at 4 so I can cut this strip off the top. Remember, these are each going to be 3 by 4. So now that we have that, we can cut each of these to 3 inches. I have those 3 by 4. Guys, we're just going to go through all of these and repeat that. So looks like we'll cut down here at about 4 inches. Again, we're just going to repeat all of this. All right, so I have all of my color coach pieces cut. So remember, I said we were going to take all of our colored cardstock and we needed a 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. I'm going to start with the brand new in colors because I just had to show them off. They are so gorgeous. And there is a bonus new core color. This one right here is called Basic Beige, a beautiful color. This is going to be really complementary to either your white or your very vanilla. And of course, it's beige. It's going to go with everything. But the in colors for the next 2 years are Shy Shamrock, Pretty in Pink. This is a returning color from many, many years ago. I love this one, a beautiful pink. Next, we have Petunia Pop. I'm going to be honest, I think this is probably my favorite out of all of them. It's a fabulous color. How about a little Peach Pie? And the last one is Summer Splash. When you go to cut your cardstock, if you will put the 8 1/2 inches up at the top and cut it 4 1/4, now that gives you a good card base that you'll be able to use. So that's one of the most economical ways to cut your cardstock. Then I can rotate it around. That gives me my 3 1/2, and now I've got some good pieces that I'll be able to use as some scraps. And now we're simply going to adhere these onto the matching color. That way, when you're ready to use the cards, you'll have the colors already lined up that you can see the actual color. We can't always depend on that printing. Let me show you what I mean after I get all of my color coach cards adhered to the proper cardstock. If you're still with me, you have all of your color coaches all mounted to the proper color of cardstock. So how to use your color coach? Well, it's very simple. If you're struggling for a color combination, let's say you know you want to use some Shy Shamrock. Well, you could pull out your card, and here are 3 different versions of 3 colors that go really well with Shy Shamrock. And if you'd like, you could even add some other color combinations that you've come up with there on the back. So really great collection of cards if you struggle with color, and I know we all do. And speaking of that, did you know that I offer a color inspiration that I mail out every Monday? I'd love to get you on my list for that. Just sign up for my newsletter at simplysimplestamping.com. All right, shameless plug done. Now that we've got these cards, you know what? That's kind of an odd thing to just have laying around. We don't want to get ink and things all over them. So part 2 of today's Tuesday tip, we're going to create a simple little box that your Color Coach pieces can go in. Remember that free download is going to have everything that you need so you can create the box. I've even got a diagram to make it super easy for you. You'll find it at simplysimplestamping.com or look down in the YouTube description for a direct link. I told you Petunia Pop was one of my favorite colors, so my box is going to be created with that. I just encourage you to use the cardstock that matches your creative space or whatever color is inspiring you today. So this piece here is a 6 by 6.5, and my other piece is a 4 by 4.25. So we're going to do some scoring on this one. With the 6.5 inches up at the top, you're going to score at 1.5 inches. Rotate it all the way around. Again, the 6.25 up at the top, that was 1.5 inches. All right, now with the 6 inches up at the top, we are going to score at 2.25 inch. Rotate it all the way around, and 2.25 inch. My other piece of Petunia Pop, we're going to put the 4.25 inches up at the top, and you will score that in half at 2 1/8 inch. Right, so to create our box, we're going to find these 2 lines. You'll see that square, that there's going to be a square right in the middle. If you will just cut up along that score line, and we'll have a little square there. We'll repeat it on the other side, and it's going to look something like this. I want to do a little mitering on these squares, and it is very important that you're only cutting on the square. You're going to cut from the inside of the square all the way up to the top. Can you see how I just cut a little triangle? So you're cutting from the inside to that outside corner. And let me show you again right here. And now we'll repeat that on the other side. I'm going to bring in a bone folder, and I want to give all of these score lines a really good crease. I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue to put this together, but you could use adhesive as well. But I want to show you what we're going to do. We're going to take that tab and we're going to put it on the outside, and then it's going to be enclosed. So see how the inside of our box will be nice and pretty? So we're going to sandwich that little tab in between. So what I can do is add just a little bit of adhesive. I don't need a lot right there, but I do here on this tab. So I want to make sure I'm getting right up against the edges. I want this to be nice. I don't want the edges to have any kind of gap. So you can see how we're just going to take that, sandwich that in between, and there you can see that's all put together. Let's repeat that here on the other side. So remember, this was coming this way, so we want this side to also go in the same direction. So again, just a little adhesive on the tab just to kind of hold that in place, and then we can adhere the other side together. All right, look at that. The box is done, but here's the thing. This is a little bit flimsy. So let's take the other piece of Petunia Pop that we, remember this is the one that we just folded and scored. I'm actually just going to glue these two pieces together. It's going to create a great base, and the reason I'm doing it this way is because it's also going to add some strength to that base. You know, it's a little bit thicker. We just basically doubled that cardstock, but I'm going to set that off to the side because I'm going to do a little decorating here on my box. So I think you can see there's the back side. All right, that's going to be the back side of my box. This is the pretty side. This is the one where the cardstock is wrapping around the front. I've got a piece of designer series paper, and this is from the Unbounded Beauty. And let me show you what I did. I actually started with a 2" by 12. And then I cut off 1/4 of an inch because I really loved this other side. And I'm going to adhere that down. So again, it's just going to make my box, the card, or I'm sorry, the designer series paper I'm going to decorate with just gives it a little something extra. I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue again to adhere that into place. We're ready to adhere this to the front of our box. And so I'm just going to kind of eyeball, all right? This will go all the way around, but I'm going to eyeball that. And you know what? I think I'll just put my multi-purpose glue here directly on the box. Lay my designer series paper in place. Give that a nice press. In fact, I can kind of lay that down, get my fingers in there. All right, we have that. Now we're going to give this a fold and just kind of do your best to give that a really good crease. I know it's kind of hard with your cardstock, but if you'll just put your fingers inside the box, it works pretty good. We're going to repeat that here towards the back, and then we'll glue everything down into place. All right, I've placed adhesive on that, and you can see we can just wrap that around. And when you bring it around the back, just make sure to line everything up. Okay, that's the back of my box. Now let's look at that little base that we created. So here's the open end. I want this nice soft end facing outward. So I'm going to put the open end there towards the back. I'm going to get adhesive all over the bottom of my color coach box. You're going to center that up in the base. And let me tell you, I think one of the best ways to press it down is to take your color coach cards. You can get inside there. That's going to give you the ability to go in there, press that down. All right, guys, we're getting something, but it needs some decor, don't you think? When it comes to decorating your box, I want you to have a blast. I want you to pull out some of your favorites. Right now, my favorite has been the Simply Zinnia dies. I love these. So I have cut out the 2 outline flowers and then this solid one here. And this little guy, well, this little guy we're going to do in some peach pie. So I've got all those pieces cut. Let's do just a little bit of inking. And we're going to do that with the Petunia Pop ink pad. And I've got a sponge dauber here. I'm just going to ink that up a little bit. I'm going to take both of these flowers and I'm just going to tap, tap, tap some of that Petunia Pop there in the middle. And we're going to do that on both of these, just tapping away. It's going to just kind of give, again, a little Petunia Pop. So yeah, that's what it's going to do. All right. And last on this one, I'm just going to kind of brush the edges with the sponge dauber. All right. It's just going to give, again, like I said, we just want that little burst of color. You know, zinnias have so many varying colors. You can have a lot of fun with this set. All right, let's put our flower together. I'll start here, just a little glue there in the middle. And we'll add that here to our solid flower. All right, now we're going to add this one on top and we'll put a little glue here. You're just going to kind of go off a little ski-wampus there. And then add the center of our flower. You kind of decide where you want that to go. You know what? I think we need some leaves. Absolutely we do. Let's take this leaf. And I've got just a scrap here. It's a 1x4, but we can die cut a couple leaves out of the Shy Shamrock. And I'm just going to add those here to the back. All right, my flower is done. We're ready to add it to our box. But let's bring in a little ribbon too. Well, you knew I'd have to bring in the new In Color ribbon, right? So this is the new In Color bordered ribbon. I'm thinking we're going to go with the Pretty in Pink. I think that one will look really nice. So what I'm going to do here is I am simply going to tie this in a knot over here on the left-hand side. I think that looks great. We're going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals to adhere our flower to the box. And we can add that right there. So now we've got a beautiful box to hold all of our color coach pieces. You notice that stand is going to keep it from falling down and falling over. We use some beautiful new in colors, some new ribbons, some new dies. And now when you're ready to create with the new colors this year, you have got so many color combinations right there at your fingertips. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked today's video, would you give me a thumbs up on YouTube and take a minute to subscribe to the channel? While you're at it, share with your crafty friends. We'd love to have them join in on the fun. Make it a great day, everyone. Can't wait to stamp with you next time. Bye-bye.